Test, 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 test. Okay, I guess that'll work. Anyways, ooh, that's kind of high. Maybe I should drop that down a bit. Yeah. Is that better? I think that's better. It's not gonna get too high after that. Anyways, let's go to logo. Oh my God, so many things going on. Let's turn this shit off. Ooh, okay. All right, anyways, I should probably put this on Discord. Test, 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 test. Okay. Oh, we're back at it again. Okay, cool. All right. Should I do BRB? No, not BRB. Anyways, okay. All right. So there's another quick thing. I'm just gonna do this whole quick fix thing on this thing. Hopefully my mic's working. I don't know if it's ever working on Discord, to be quite honest with you. But hopefully it's working on Discord and it's going okay. But looks like it's working on YouTube, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, got a cool, interesting, not cool, kind of sucks, but I got this little issue with this roaster. The drum is wobbly. I can show you what that looks like. So we're gonna see how wobbly this drum is, because it's like, it was super wobbly, and I thought I didn't tighten it down enough, but this is not like normal play, and this is from the factory. So obviously this was something wasn't tightened well enough, so I pulled that out. Pull this out. I'm gonna take this screw out because it's gonna fall. Good. So, anyways, here's the thing. Look right here. That play, that's not good. Your drum is not supposed to have that much play. And drop it down a little lower. We take a little peek at it. Yeah, your drum is not supposed to have that much play. Even if when you tighten it there, sometimes that could happen when these are loose, those three little those screws, but right now this is loose because it's loose on the back. So what does that look like? So I'm gonna turn this unit around. Put that in. This is probably like the second time I've seen this happen. I'll put that back on later, but we'll turn this around. So if we pull this out, you take there, you really can't see what's happening, so we got to take that part out. We got to take the drum motor off. So if we take the drum motor off, I'm gonna bring that up a bit to the right. So let's pull this out. It's really easy to take off. gonna take these out. Anyways. Okay. So if it's moving around like that, it's more than likely this thing that holds the drum part in is loose. And look how loose that is. You shouldn't be able to do that at all. Like I shouldn't be able to turn that whatsoever. So that came loose from the factory. It's kind of an issue when you're doing repairs, because now your drum is liable to just pop out. So one thing you probably want to do is screw it on a little bit tighter, but you need a specialized tool. If you were to do this, like they're called spanners, I think. So you need to get like this fancy spanner tool, which I think costs like $20+. I honestly, you know, it kind of sucks that you would have to pay that much if this were to happen. So what you could do is maybe go to your local library, download this file. And I just printed one out. And it's actually probably recommended that you print this part out in PLA. So it should cost like, what, $1 to print this out at your local library, or just pay like $1 to your friend who has a 3D printer. It should print out in any PLA, any decent PLA printer. Anyways, so it's adjusted to where you just pull it here, you line it up, and then you just tighten, just like that. If you really want to get into the thick of it, you can grab like a screwdriver, one of your small ones that could, because you have to still fit it in there, and you got to just fit that in enough to where it gets to the other side. Fit that into the, line it up, fit it in there. Good, hold it on the other side, and then you just tighten. Make sure it's pretty well and tight, so you don't want it to move anywhere. There you go. Ooh, I broke that one. Okay, maybe a little too tight, but you get the drift. You want to make sure that it's tight enough to where you can still rotate it, but it won't move around. And then another thing, it's basically just like a PVC pipe, but it's these like little corners that kind of do the trick in holding it in. What I should do is I should probably bring these out a little bit more so it has a better like hold. Do it on the next design. But yeah, you just need these little things to grip at the end, or you can get a spanner and do it that way if you want. It should be able to spin pretty well. I wonder, and I was thinking maybe just like a dab of like red RTV. Nothing crazy. Something kind of hold it in place, because you still want it to like spin pretty well. So we'll put that back on. Very important that you put the this part in. And the file for that is on printables.com. So if you want to print it out somewhere, you can. It's totally free. Or you could pay, you could get a fancy one and pay $20 for the spanner. It's a lot better than the, they used to just have like a regular C-clip. They used to go on there, and that would be kind of a crappy little design. Other than that, right now, you could just get the, just print one of these out. Or sorry, when it comes to the C-clip, you had to get these like really weird tools for it to be able to take them off. All right, I'm gonna test it out. All right. Good. The usual sound when you like have a loose one of these is you'll hear like really bad scraping and crunching on it. Like it's something like literally scraping the wall, the drum. And then another thing you can figure out if it's that back one is if you tighten up the 3 bolts in the front or 3 screws in the front and your drum is still loose, it's still like moving up and down, then that's when you would it probably would be this little collar thing. Little brass, I think it's brass. But yeah, and then you just put it back together. I'm shipping this out to someone, and I was like, oh, I want to inspect it before I ship it out, and then lo and behold, it breaks. So, and that's why I do that, just because, to keep me honest. Would hate to send something out and it'd be broken. I gotta look at a work email real quick. And then whoever I give this to, I'm just gonna ship this with it. I printed this out for him, so I'll go ahead and I'll give it to him. It's not bad. It's a little part. I wish I could tell you like the torque you should put in, but I guess don't destroy it. Don't manhandle it enough to where it's tight, but it won't come loose. I think that's where like a dab of red RTV might come in handy. And I think red RTV is what a lot of like, I see, if you like ever watch a roast video and they open up the area, they actually use a lot of that red RTV. I mean, there's different formulas of it, but there are ones that you can get for like barbecues, where they're there to hold like their mesh filters. So you know they're good for the temperature. All right, so put that in here. Oops. So I'm gonna probably do a roast on this one. I'm gonna try auto roasting with it. Let's see how that goes. Not by auto roast, like using the profiles on the controller, but auto roasting, I'm using high beam. Yeah, this is just one of those little quick fixes I wanted to do. Because I did have someone else run into that issue with the drum being all wobbly, and I was like, I didn't understand what was going on because I thought it was just those 3 little screws in the front, or in the when you go access the drum through the front. No, I just think they were loose. That's really it. Like I tell everyone, the QC on these, the quality control on these isn't the greatest, but sometimes you might get lucky and you get a really, really good quality unit, and then sometimes you get weird ones that are dead on arrival. Like I tell everyone, post up your results or your feedback and make sure everyone sees it, because we won't really know if it's an issue unless you tell us about it. Well, tell me about it. You can tell me about it. I don't know how I'm gonna fix it for you, but at least I could try figuring a way out. But it's just nice that I know that what we're doing in terms of telling the vendor is kind of working, because it did take about 2 years to get active cooling onto these machines. So I feel like we got somewhere. And I think that's a big win for the community that that they're, you know, they're listening and they're aware. But of course, they definitely made like a bunch of those boards, and that's why it's basically why they're releasing it now. I think they just ran out of those boards that weren't able to fit that extra fan. But now it sucks because there's a bunch of units with the fan and a bunch of units without the fan. And a lot of people are probably going to be like, how come, where the hell's my fan? Because this one doesn't have that fan on it. This one I had to install it myself. Install it right in here, so there's like a little 3D printed part. You can see the purple. There's if I'm missing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 2 at the bottom. 2 at the bottom. 2 at the top. 4 I gotta put back in. Oh, and then other ones. Got it. And then we gotta put this back one on. Goes on like so. And if there's anyone out there. Yeah, some of them don't even have the fan slots. I actually just got 2 that were, I guess, returned, and then I got them recently from Precision, and they didn't have these fan slots in the back. So I'm like, that sucks. What a shame. Let's put those 2 in. I think that's all of them. Kind of nice. I don't have to do that install anymore, because it's not a bad installation. It's just time consuming, and it's something they could easily fix for cheap. In terms of like cheap and keeping the whole roaster safe, I feel like it was a no-brainer. But what do I know? I think the next refresh will probably be the motor. I really hope it is, because that motor's got to go. And I know they're playing with planetaries, because they did in the beginning, and then they got rid of those because the ones they purchased were, I guess, weren't that great. Good, that's in. That's good. That's not loose, or not. Yeah. Don't make sure it's nice and snug on there. Also, when you put it back, you kind of want to check if it's gonna scrape. Depending on how you put it in, it might scrape a little bit. So once you get the front panel on, we'll turn it on. Good. That's about the normal sound of it. Okay, so that's all set up. Let me go ahead and we'll put high beam. High beam's already going to be on this, so. Oh, they got to put the front panel back on. I think I got some here. Oh. I think I dropped the screws for it, so I'll just grab these ones. If anyone's interested, I will probably be having a little more blemish units coming out because I've got a whole bunch of muns that kind of were messed up. I usually sell those for like $250. Functionally, they work. They're just ugly on the outside. Dropped. I gotta pick that up later. Grab the wrong kind. Good. Then one more. There we go. All right, that's all in. That looks good. Go grab my tablet and we'll start roasting on it. So now we're gonna go ahead and we will put on high beam. Let me close this. Okay, so let me rotate this stupid thing. Come on. Auto rotate. Let me plug this back in. There we go. Then let's get the camera on it. And if you're using magnums or Lorne Holios, it uses Nimble to connect. Good, that works. Cool. All right, go to device, auto roast. Is it working again? Yeah, all right. So high beam's been kind of weird today. So we'll just have to use the saved one. It's been acting weird all day. But luckily it should run locally and then save it and then upload it. Okay. Oh, let me bring this up a little bit. Okay. Let's warm this up.
Auto roasting will start after charge. Preheat flow. Auto heating to 162.0 degrees Celsius.
Right, we'll wait that until that warms up. I'm going to go ahead and I'll turn on my my air, what's it called? My airwave. We'll do that one roast. We'll see how it does with auto, and then that'll be it. I wasn't planning on streaming, but I kind of wanted to show people the drum issue, since I think that's like, yeah, I had that happen quite a few times. Okay, so next I will put this on. And then I'm gonna just turn on my airwave. That looks good, that looks good. All right, airwave started. Lift this up. There you go. I kind of usually just have my airwave down like this or like here. You're not supposed, I don't like it fully connected with the pipe, but I can if I wanted to. It actually gives me a little bit more hold, but I don't want to like clamp it on the pipe. I just want it to suck the air out. There has been, yeah, well, there's Bear's version, and then, so the question was, has there been updates to the ESP firmware? There has, and usually that's done now by Magnum or Florin Holio, or there's another firmware you can use by Bear. And I don't have like one community one because I don't think it's right to just pick a firmware, especially when it's like they're doing it for free. So for me, I just prefer them kind of handling the distribution part, and you kind of just pick out which one works best for your scenario. But yeah, there's two. I don't know if one's better than the other, but so far everyone's telling me they work pretty much the same. But the last time we had a firmware that was kind of like we needed updating was for the Q-Bean, because the way it was handling temperature was all off. And then High Beam has their own over-the-air updates. So I think it's over the air. Yeah, I think it is over-the-air updates through the High Beam app. So it's kind of nice. Oh, I'm getting a lot of issues here. You know what? Yeah, these units are a little bit sensitive to EMI. I mean, if it's working, you don't have to update it. The biggest thing is we added the PID within the ESP32, so now it does maintain temperature when you're preheat. All right, we're gonna let this. I'm gonna let it warm up to 62 for a few minutes, and then we'll toss in the bean. I'm gonna toss in the bean. Which ones was I using? I think the Milan. I'm just gonna kind of let it run itself, and I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. And this is gonna be a 250 gram drop. There's a new cafe that opened up by my place, and they do a lot of co-ferments, and I think I'm getting into co-ferments again, unfortunately. I was on the geisha hype for a bit, and now I'm at these geisha co-ferments, so. But this is not a geisha, this is a Katura, I think. Yeah, this is a Nitro Katura. Finca Milan, a Colombian Nitro Katura. Finca Milan. The tasting notes are honeydew, watermelon, and Jolly Rancher. I could really taste the watermelon. I kind of see what the Jolly Rancher taste is. It's kind of weird. I always get a little bit worried when it comes to like flavors in the like candy flavors in co-ferments, because then I don't know, it feels a little doesn't feel natural. If that makes sense. Like it feels like a little too artificial. So, all right. I'm just gonna pray and hope that it kind of follows the same path. We'll see. Oh. Give it a few more minutes. I should tell Will to add like a preheat timer to where like once it hits like your desired temperature, and then they'll give you like a countdown timer of how many minutes it's been like at 162 for preheat. So maybe like a 5-minute 162 or a 10-minute. I don't think it'll be too hard to implement. It'll just be another nice quality of life thing where you can kind of keep track of how long your warming up is. Sometimes I just guess. Like I'll look at the numbers and I should be good and be like, oh yeah, it's been like 9,
8, 7, 6. It's been like 4 or 5 minutes. Put these beans in here. All right, I'm gonna dump these in. Just like this. And I'm gonna hit charge and drop.
Set heater to 50%. Set fan
you know when that
speed
happens.
to 10%. Set drum speed to 1%.
There you go. Oh, let me move all this stuff out the way.
Turning point detected.
Definitely off. All right.
Have you roasted anything lately, Repat? Anything good? I'm trying to find more beans before I get like tired of this. What's this called? This is a co-ferment. This is gonna drop that temperature. I think I might have used the wrong profile. I'm gonna try it again.
Set heater to 45%.
Oh, so 153 degrees it dropped from 45. Okay. From Nicaraguan Ojo de Agua. Eyes of the water? Eyes of water? Ice day. Is that of or from? Eyes from water? That sounds pretty good. Oh, that's right. It's been cold for y'all. It's been perfect weather here. Actually been up since 3 o'clock because I wanted to watch the blood moon. I saw it and I was like, cool. I can't go back to sleep.
I need to start roasting more because I have all these beans and I need to get rid of them because I want to try other beans. But I also want to do testing, and it's a mess. I say it like I'm it's like a travesty or something. But... I used the wrong beans. It was a different profile for a geisha that I used on this one. I thought I picked the right one. I'm already running out of these, so that's good. So if you're probably watching this and you're wondering why the fuck am I plateauing this so much, what we're doing is we're trying this whole new profile out where we're trying to really get the highlights of what radiant heat roaster does, which is if you leave it naturally, it plateaus. Like if I were to bleach air for 50 and then fan for 50, naturally it'll just it will on its own, it will just drop in a convection unit. It would like have a natural decline, where if I do this on a radiant heat roaster, it should do exactly what it's doing right now. If you leave it at one setting, it should plateau. Oh, here, first time. Not doing it right. Oh, God. Damn it. Fuck that up. Alright, I'm gonna drop this.
Cooling flow. Turn on cooling fan. Turn off heater.
All right. So now I'm gonna do the original profile. Since of course that's not gonna work, it's a geisha profile. So I'm gonna exit this. We'll let this cool off. Now I'm gonna make sure I switch this profile again. So there it is. So I'm gonna place this one. Shit. Huh. Well, this is on there. Servers are being wonky right now. It hit first crack. I didn't register for some reason. It kind of freaked out. So now I don't know what's going on with High Beam right now. I think the servers are losing its shit. So I'm trying to get this profile I just did last night. And it's not loading it up. Let's double check something. Yeah, it's freaking out right now. Yeah, my minutes are on there. Do I have the updated version? I have the latest version. So switch. Let this load, see what happens. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me restart this app. Uh-oh. Not a good look. That connected right away, which is good. We'll go to here, auto roasting, replace log. It's too, I just did this one. No. It's a starred roast too. I should put that in. Yeah, that's on there. Set the reference curve. Can I pick the? That's the one I just did. Come on. Well, shit. I don't know what's going on. I gotta ask Will what's going on with the servers. Okay, now that's not working. Let's see. Is it working on my cell phone? No, yeah, it's a server issue. I can't connect to the server. It is taking all the information locally, but it's not getting all the information off of the server itself. Lame. Which, you know, it's kind of okay because you could still at least roast with it if you're not connected to the server. It's just I wanted to actually use a profile today that I used from last night. And the new plateauing profiles are so easy. You only do like so you do like 3 heat changes. Yeah, it's only doing the local library. Most of the beans are done. Yeah, nothing's coming up on the phone app or there. Oh boy. Yeah. I'll ping Will about it. And the way I'm roasting, the whole 250 grams and the plateauing, it's not. I'm not saying you should roast like that. It's more like we've been experimenting with it and seeing how it tastes so far. The tastes have been interesting. Like, it just gets it a really, really smooth cut. Enough of that noise I could take. But that's all cooled off. That looks okay. Beans look fine. Okay. Let me package these. Where's my little apparatus? It's too big. I'm gonna grab one of these green bags. Ugh. Got my Amazon specials. That's where I buy all my bags now because they arrive in a few days. I probably could save money if I get something on AliExpress or something, but those will do for now. I had these small funnels I was really like using for my smaller bags. I think I put them away somewhere. Gonna let that cool off. Maybe it's back up. Probably not. Actually, I did share it. Wait, there it is. Okay, it's here. How do I get it over here? No dice. Okay. We'll give Will a message and we'll send him one, ask him what's going on. He'll most likely tell me the servers are down. Well, okay. Well, this unit is, I'm actually sending this to someone. Who am I sending it to? Bot. So yeah, this is going out to bot. So it works. I did a little fix. I'm gonna leave you one of these just in case it breaks again. Or it doesn't break, but tight. If you need to tighten it, then I'm gonna leave that here. I should print this out though. Where's my QR code? Oh, can't generate a QR code right now. Messing up. I'll have to print out a QR code later then. I should probably weigh it. Oh, I'll do that later. I'm being extremely lazy now. Yep. I can't print now either because it's doing all this. All right, well, I'm gonna call it there. I'll probably do more of these when I need to do more repair strings. I still need to. I'm good thing I didn't roast it because I do need to roast maybe 150 grams on the Q bean of this, and 150 grams of beans on the M1 Lite. I'm still doing my M1 Lite comparison. So far, I mean, they're really good roasters. I don't know what I could complain about. I could complain that the Q bean doesn't have a trier, and that's about it. Oh no, because the Q bean also that has a fan that's really loud in the beginning, but when it warms up, the fan is not loud, so it works fine. The Q bean has a 700 watt bowl, but it's still performing as well as the M1 Lite. I don't know. The M1 Lite does have a planetary motor, drum motor, but it's brushed. Which shouldn't be a complaint because the Q beam motor is brushed too. It's the same motor. The Q beam motor is the same motor we use in the V1. Except it's a lower torque, so it won't have that many I don't think it'll have that many issues. Because essentially it's like roasting it, maybe a 200 gram roast comparison, I guess. And those blades aren't that heavy. And the blades are also supported in the front, so there's not a lot of, if you think about it, there's not a lot of torque on it. So, where I just saw the pieces for it, where did I put it? There it is. All right. So here's the Q bean. Here are the agitators for the Q bean. It does it like this, right? It's heavy. It's kind of heavy. It's not heavy as I think the drum is a little bit heavier. I think I have a drum here. Let's measure it out. Okay, I got the drum here. Let's measure how heavy the drum is. We could kind of calculate what the torque's gonna be. I'll put this here, act like that. So right now it's about 695 grams. Okay. Just need to make sure that's correct. $695 grams. That's how heavy the drum is. I'm gonna compare it to this. A little platform for it. Okay, so this is only 344 grams. So this is significantly lighter than what the V1 is rotating this drum at.
Also, this doesn't have any front support. So, you know, as it goes out further, the torque kind of increases. The beans will be in the front usually, right? And that's where all the weight is going through, so the torque increases. For this one, it just agitates the beans. And it's also held in the front. So this, let me see if I can show you. This goes in like this. And then, oh. And then this is the back of the drum where my hand's at, and then the front of the drum with the agitators. And it kind of rotates like that, right? So this doesn't have that, like, yeah, it's not as bad as the drum. So the V1 all in general is just a really kind of shitty design. It might actually help it if it did have like a little bit of front support, like little roller bearings. I did that mod too, by the way, where you put roller bearings in the front, and then when you have more weight, it does help a lot when you have the 500 gram roast on there, because the drum will kind of bend a little bit. Not a lot, but just enough to where it would start tapping the bearings, and then it would rotate on the bearings and it would support it. So decreasing the amount of torque on the motor. I'm not sure if it helped that much, but I think it definitely would help in the long run of it. If you're roasting 500 grams, which I was doing at the time. I've now gone down to like 350 grams to about 400 and... No, I was doing 450 because that's what Sweet Maria was doing. They have 450 1-pound bags. So 1 pound is about 450 grams. So I was doing 1 pound bags on my V1s. I would do 500 if I had that amount of beans, but I usually never had 500 grams. Until now. Until now that I'm getting more beans from like Body Leaf and then Sweet Maria's. But anyways, so yeah, I think the motor for the V1 makes a little bit more sense in the Q-Bean. The 1 speed, not controllable, but I don't think you need to spin it that fast. What else is there? I think that's it. For real this time. Like I said, if you have comments, concerns, or if you do want to get a unit from me, if you wait maybe like a week or two, I might have these cheaper units for like $250. Really not that great. Well, they're just beat up on the outside, but functionally they work fine. It's just they got beat up during either the transportation to the person or the transporting it back to the return area. So, so far they looks like they work like they normally would work. They're just a little bit ugly. They have little dents. Like usually there's like little dents on the side. I try to sell those ones maybe a little bit cheaper. If they have really bad dents, that's when it starts to be like $250. But if it's like a small little dent here, it might be like 300 instead of 350. Not small, but like a big dent, like a bigger dent. Smaller dents, I might do like 335. I don't know. It kind of depends on the severity of the dent and if it bugs you that much. Otherwise, they usually work fine. I also have another unit I just found that looks like it had a fire. So I'm curious to open up to see what happened there. It's also dripping in the back, so I already know. Like in terms of they were roasting so much that they had the liquid come out the back, which usually means they had this on, probably in a cold environment. The beans hit the cold pipe because it leads outside, and that's probably where the hot and the cold meat and the moisture comes in, and that'll just drip right down your whole system, which is why they recommend having an air gap. Like what's an air gap is like cooking on a range and you have like your exhaust tube like this.
like a little bit of a gap sucking it up. Usually when you have direct, it does, for some reason, the moisture picks up in there because of the cold metal and the hot air. And then the moisture, those two things together cause a little bit of moisture to come down, and then it builds up. It usually starts dripping down the back of the unit. The only reason I was comparing this to a person out in Temecula I was talking with, and they were having a lot of dripping issues. And the only difference between me and her, and where Temecula is at, I believe is a desert, so it's pretty dry. It's dry like where I'm at, Sacramento. So, hello there. Do you have a spare cup for cupping? Spare cup for cupping. Spare cup. I mean, I have cups in the house for cupping. But anyways, the lady from Temecula was telling me, yeah, she would connect it here. They would have a directly connected from the tube out to her window, and then she had a bunch of dripping happen. So, we're in the same environment, almost the same weather around the same time, and moisture is about the same as it is here. I think it's not really close to the ocean. Yeah, I believe Temecula is a desert, but anyways, or at least dry. But anyways, and I don't have it because I don't directly connect it, or I have it like an air gap somewhere. The only ever time I did have moisture come out was I think a really wet bean, and I had the tube just like I had it before, where it was like inserted in right there directly. And the moisture's not a bad thing, because those are normal things that happen. Is your roaster running? You better go catch it. At least it's not on fire, and then I could use one of these. Oh, I didn't even know where my fire extinguisher is at. That's not a good idea. Trust me, I have a fire extinguisher somewhere. Well, anyways, and that's really it. I think I'm roasting. Oh, maybe I'm back tomorrow. We'll see. Depends on if my patient wants to see me or not. These? They used to. There used to be an issue called thermal runaway, where and this happens to a lot of roasters. You could find issues where BMOR. There's a while back there used to be a joke like BMORs used to catch on fire because this one guy caught one on fire. It was on Reddit, and then even the big units could catch fire. You could see them like when people are going for those dark roasts, the beans will catch on fire when they drop. Like the huge machines. If you don't clean your Alio bullet, it can actually cause a fire in the chaff container. Yeah. This one would catch fire because it would people would try to lower the temperature down, and then the thermal runaway would kick in, and then the lamp would just be at 100%, even when you're trying to set it to like 50 or 30. And then I also would freeze the system to where, yeah. That was a while back. They did a lot of fixes. That's when the boards that's when the boards didn't have the relay on them. So right now they have these relays on them. This is a V2 board, but it's the same deal. They didn't have these relays on them before. That's to help with the temperature, because that usually just shuts off the whole board, or shuts off the lamp pretty much from turning on when it reaches a certain temperature. And then there is another thermal fuse in the front, which is a little sensitive. It's set to 230, but it kind of goes off as early as like 205 degrees Celsius. And then there's another inline fuse in there that I guess if it gets too hot, it's a one-time use thermal fuse, and it'll pop if you reach like 280 or something, or 300. Oh yeah, you're never. I don't even run my my Cafe Logic Nano unattended, just because it's a big fire risk anytime you roast. Even my Beemore, I won't do it. They say you could do that with the Cafe Logic Nano. It won't. Yeah, I don't trust it. But yeah, that's happened a few times. And it's usually the chaff catches on fire, and I think it happens a lot with naturals. Hold on, let's see. All right. But people still will. The thing is, like, I really didn't like about having the tablet and the wireless ESP32S3 is because it gives you the ability to like run it wirelessly, and you know that's just building bad habits. Like there has been a few times where I'll leave the garage, but I'll bring the tablet with me, and that's a big no-no. But yeah, honestly, serial connection would be the best connection for this because it doesn't allow you to wander away. I definitely wander away from the roaster a lot more now that it's wireless on a tablet. Good. And this is actually pretty good. I think I ran 3 roasts through it. I'm surprised that it got loose on that back part, so make sure to, yeah, just know when that drum is loose. The drum isn't supposed to shake. There shouldn't be any play in the drum. That's a big sign. Also, don't try turning your drum when it's connected to the motor. You have a higher chance of like causing backfeed to the board, and then might fry it. They're pretty sensitive. Like a lot of people will like they'll show me like, oh look, my drum's working fine, but they don't rotate it with their drum motor on because you do have a really high chance of causing backfeed. And then you ruin your board, and then you have to get a new one that they'll usually send you. And I think chaff fires do happen, especially at 500 grams. A lot of people are telling me that like it hasn't happened to me, but I think it happens a lot when you're roasting naturals. Someone told me naturals have I guess more chaff and more they're like paper, easier to catch on fire. Anything else? Yeah. I think that'll do it. All right. Anyways, I will see everyone later. Thanks for joining. I'm hoping Thursday I'll be definitely doing roasting on the M1 Lite and the Cubine again. I'm trying to see which one is worth it or better. And so far I like the M1 Lite S or M1 Lite S, M1 Lite. It's pretty good out the box. But for 20 bucks, I can have something run pretty similar to it with this one. And with the Cubine, I haven't had issues of it breaking like the V1, so. And it's also 300 bucks versus 700. So you do save a lot of money. And you get, I feel like it's almost the same performance. And I'm also thinking that it's not really like 100% a radiant heat roaster. Just the way the bean reacts when you leave it like at a certain percentage between the heat and the air, it does have parts where it'll like have a declining ROR, like you would normally see happen in a Kaleido when you just leave it the same lamp percentage and the same air percentage. Where I did it with this one and I kept it the same. Like I didn't adjust it, and it just does a good clean flat plateau, and that's mostly because it's a radiant. It's a much more radiant system than this one, where the lamp is over here and the beans are down here. They're a lot further away compared to here. The the lamp is like right here and your beans are like right there. It's very close. And it's a straight pathway where the Q bean will have those agitators in the way, so they kind of block it in a sense. And it's outside of the quote unquote like the blades of it. But anyways, I'll try that experiment again. Run it again, see if I get the same things. Because I saw clearly with this, if I left it the same, it plateaus. If I don't leave it the same, if I do leave this the same, it has a declining ROR, but then it plateaus towards the middle of the roast. All right. Anyways, that's it. I will catch everyone later. I got to clean my house. Be a good husband. See y'all later.